the Eagles as well. Okay, another NFC matchup here. We got Washington, we got Tampa. The Bucs are 3.5-point favorites. Let me see it, D. Wood smash the loser. Oh, my God.
That's a surprise.
I have no idea.
In the ribs.
Sammy, you took that one.
That's what's left of Baker.
I see a lot of Commanders on our screen. Rex, you're the only guy who believes in Baker Mayfield
I
this
believe
weekend.
in Baker Mayfield.
Tell me
He's
why.
hot. I think they can get it done.
What's he called? You got to ask Marcus what he calls him.
What do you call Baker?
Mixtape Bake.
Mixtape Baker?
Yeah, I think when Bake in the booth by himself with just his producer making music, he the best. When he try to go commercial, he look like poop. Mixtape Bake.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, we got one more.
All right. Well, guys, that's the best I could do today for the Washington Commanders content. Was nothing on the herd. They literally had a Chicago Bears segment. Colin had that opening his, after his first commercial break. There was nothing on Get Up. Like, I don't understand. I feel like a broken record when I have to go through this. But, I mean, like, this was, like, their best season since 1991. Jayden Daniels completely flipped the script for the Washington Commanders. Should be Rookie of the Year. I mean, was legitimately historic. Truly historic. And, we just get this, like, random segment at the very end. Now, they are picking the Commanders. So, like, again, credit to Orlovsky and Woody and Marcus Spears and whatnot. So, that's still positive. But what Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders have done this season has truly been legendary. And I'm going to go through it more through the stats and the numbers that show even more how great and special he's been. I'll do that in the next few videos to come this week. But the one thing that I want to say is this, because this cannot be understated. Truly cannot be understated. Everyone talks about how amazing Lamar Jackson is, and rightfully so. 2-time MVP, maybe 3-time MVP. He's now the first member of the 4,000 passing yards and 900 rushing yard club, right? He founded that club, which again, he deserves all the credit. That is awesome. 1,000% awesome. You can see all these articles. Lamar Jackson becomes first to reach 4,000 passing yards, 900 rushing yards in a single season. The first member, this, that. Lamar Jackson makes unique NFL history, etc., etc., etc. Then we got Jayden Daniels, who as a rookie, who essentially missed one game that he would have feasted on against, I believe it was the Panthers when he got knocked out of that game. Essentially didn't play this final game against the Cowboys. And then also played a couple games where he was obviously legitimately banged up. But even if we don't want to worry about those banged up games, we can see where Jayden Daniels threw for 3,568 yards. You think if he played the full games against the Cowboys and against the Panthers that he would have been able to break 4,000 yards? Is that such a far stretch? How about the fact that he rushed for 891 yards? Is it such a far stretch to think that he would have gotten to 900? He would have maybe gotten to 1,000. I mean, think about that. Seriously, think about that. I mean, it's kind of wild. The first time Lamar Jackson ever did that, everyone's praising, and he almost did it as a rookie quarterback. Can we appreciate how wild that is? Against Carolina, he only threw the ball twice. I mean, because again, he got taken out. He did get 3 rushes for 50, so that was obviously good. But is it really hard to imagine? And then again, against the Cowboys, he obviously barely played. And then against Pittsburgh, the Eagles, and the Cowboys again, he obviously wasn't 100% healthy. But again, if you want to kind of follow the school of thought of like, well, everyone's banged up, Lamar Jackson was banged up, that's fine. But he obviously did not play with Carolina, and he did not play any substantial amount of time against the Dallas Cowboys. So again, is it really such a far stretch to think that he would have been able to get more? Not to mention, he's a rookie. So the fact that he's been able to do what he's been able to do is extraordinary. Okay, bottom of the league in interceptions, top in the league in touchdowns, yards, QBR, if that means anything to you. Just extraordinary. Truly truly extraordinary. According to PFF, top 5 in offensive rating, top 6 in just his pass rating. And again, I don't mean like passer rating, like the passing grade from PFF, and run top 5. He had a passer rating of over 100. Led the Commanders to their best season in literal decades. I mean, he was top 10 in dropbacks and top 7 in pressures. So I mean, the Commanders were relying on him to get to work, and yet the opposing defenses were like, we're gonna get after you. He led the league in scrambles, 75. Pretty extraordinary, and it wasn't even close. Caleb is at 48 and Lamar at 39. So I mean, what Jayden Daniels was doing from a scrambling perspective was pretty amazing. I just think that everything he's done this season has been nothing short of extraordinary. 69.4% completion percentage, 7.4 yards per attempt. I mean, this was an amazing season. This is as special and as great as it gets. Honestly, it really is. And the fact that he was able to have this success, the fact that he statistically, pretty much, if he actually played these games, would have entered that club with Jayden Daniels, which again, Lamar was the first to ever do it, and yet Jayden Daniels could have been there right along with him. Jayden Daniels could have potentially beat Lamar to reaching that club, which is just bonkers. And he did it as a rookie on a team that is nowhere near, technically, in terms of roster construction, as good as what the Baltimore Ravens have. Okay? Jayden Daniels did it with what should be the worst team that he will be on in the NFL. I'm sure if Jayden Daniels is fortunate enough to play in the NFL for like 10 plus years, he'll have a season or two where like things get bad and there's cluster injury. Like that's happened to like literally every single quarterback who's ever played. So it most likely will happen to Jayden Daniels and the Commanders. But like this, in theory, in terms of like outside of bad luck with injuries and whatnot, this should be the worst team that Jayden plays for. And look what he was able to do. Imagine if you give him a little bit more time in the pocket. Imagine if you can get a little bit more consistent of a run game, get a big-bodied beast of a back to really kind of carry that load, how much that opens up the run game. We saw it with Jalen Hurts. We see it with Lamar Jackson. We know that that's important, and I guarantee you that will be a big thing moving forward for these mobile quarterbacks to really work off of. What happens when you give Jayden Daniels another weapon so he doesn't have to rely on these older pass catchers? Like give him actual some young, intense, energetic weapons that, again, we see all these other great quarterbacks have. Again, no disrespect to McLaurin. Their connection is awesome. But again, like, give him a couple other weapons as well, right? I mean, you're relying on Zach Ertz, who is definitely at the tail end of his career, but still an awesome connection between Jayden and Ertz as well. And again, give another year now with Cliff Kingsbury, an entire offseason for Jayden and Cliff to kind of get into the lab and get to work. I mean, it can only go up from here. So I would not be shocked if next season Jayden Daniels is the second player in NFL history to reach the 4,900 club. Jayden Daniels has founded the 4,500 1,000 club. He'll have a new club now, I mean, like, that's why it's always weirdly specific when you use numbers like 4,900. I always go back and forth between how much those things matter. Like Joe Burrow having like the most games scoring 3 touchdowns and at least 250 passing yards, and it always makes me laugh because then it's like if he throws for 300 yards but only 2 touchdowns, or like 4 touchdowns but only 230 yards, like those types of records and stats are always, again, can be both impressive but also both be forced. Bo Nix just set the record for most touchdown passes of a rookie at home, and again, it's awesome and it's impressive for Bo Nix, but it's also like just very, very specific, but still an indicator of obviously high levels of success. But in terms of like what it actually means in the grand scheme of things, it's who's to honestly say. It all depends on how much you really care about these bottom line numbers. But if everyone's going nuts over what Lamar Jackson did, then you better go nuts over what Jayden Daniels did as a rookie. And from my viewpoint, he had the 4,900 club as well. I mean, he clearly played good enough to be there. Clearly. Not to mention, sat out a couple fourth quarters, came up big, memory serves me correctly, against against the Cardinals, I believe, as well as the Browns. Like, this easily could have been achieved. Easily. So pretty remarkable. And, round of applause for Jayden and the Washington Commanders this season. Now going to the playoffs, going up against the Buccaneers, get to have that rematch. I kept saying again and again and again that game was Jayden Daniels' first game. He was a rookie. What are you expecting? Football is hard. Being the quarterback in the NFL is hard. And so getting this rematch is awesome. And I truly cannot wait. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders and Jayden Daniels' awesome rookie year? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.